Hi guys, had a little bit of excitement this week. I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I was running out of space with heat mats. So I went on Amazon and I found some seedling heat mats. This is a 2-pack. Now I've never tried this brand before, so I'll keep you posted on what I think about it. I've been using heat mats for a long time. I have a cheapy one that came with my Jiffy Pot stuff probably 15 years ago that's still working. And then I've got a professional quality one that my mother-in-law gave me. It was a gift to her when she retired, and she said I've got enough heat mats, so she passed one on to me, which I thought was great. I want to make a point about buying heat mats. When you buy a heat mats, whether you buy them from Amazon or from Johnny's or anybody else, make sure that you're buying a self-contained heat mat unless you want to buy a fancier setup. What I mean by that is the heat mat that I have under here and the one here are just simply like a heating pad. They have a waterproof thing and you plug it into the outlet and it does its thing. It's got a thermostat that controls the temperature and it's fine. The professional ones are, you buy the heat mat separately, and then you have controllers which control the actual temperatures of the heat mat. Now, the advantage of this for professional growers is if you're growing something unusual, it's very fussy, you can really control the actual exact temperature that your things are being kept at. And if you need to grow them warmer at first and then cool them down later, you don't have to do, you could do all of that. And especially for some people who are growing really fussy plants, that's a really good solution. When I went to Amazon and I tried to buy, I wanted to get two heat mats. Several of the ones that I looked at required a controller, but it wasn't obvious. So what I did was I was looking through and I caught a couple of times when I almost bought something that needed a controller, which I didn't want to do right now. You know, long term, I may buy controllers and all that other kind of stuff. Short term, I just wanted a heat mat that I could plug in and use and not have to worry about. So the way I figured out that this one was safe was I found the instructions on how you use it. And it said, take it out of the package, lay it down flat, and plug it in. And I said, okay, that's the kind of complexity I'm looking for. I wanted something that looked like this. It's just a heat mat with a plug on it, and there's two of them here rolled up together. So now I get to set these up because I've got one under here, and I'm sharing these other ones. So what I want to do is add this one in here, and that way I'll be able to slide this one over. I do have a few things that are starting to pop up now. I've got a few of my Gumprena flowers that have already popped up, and a couple of pak choi, and not too much yet, but it's only been a few days, so I really don't expect to have a lot pop up. But instruction, place the plant heating mat on a dry and flat surface, plug in the heating mat to a standard outlet, set the propagation tray and or other devices on the heat mat, and cover seedlings with a humidity dome to retain moisture. That's it. That's all it requires. And that's what I was looking for. So be sure that when you are purchasing heat mats that's what you do, is that you actually get the mat that you wanted rather than something else. And I'm going to just slide this over here because it wants to roll up because it's been rolled up the whole time. There we go. And then I just plug it in over here. There we go. And I will be watching these. I'll be watching the new mats for the next couple of days to make sure they're actually heating. As with any of these electronic things, you'll get reviews that say, oh, this worked, this didn't work, or it worked for 2 days and then it quit. Well, if it worked for 2 days and then it quit, you should be returning something. Because this stuff, you know, if it only worked for 2 days, well, you know, it's supposed to have a better guarantee than that. And I actually don't, you know, I figure I could go to Amazon and say, hey, because I've gone to Amazon before when there was an issue with something. So now I have enough room. This guy can slide over further, and this could be on here. And when I plant my next set of seeds, I have yet one more mat. I'll probably slide this whole thing down and continue to put the trays this way. It's not a perfect solution because I really need about 4 more of these, but I'm hoping that this will keep me in good shape. Now, one thing I did like is it comes with a little funky little bag. So for not needing this rest right now, I'll put that away. And there we go. And then I will put it back in its box to keep it tidy. We have to be careful about keeping things out of the sun in here because it gets to be, well, it's 88 degrees in here right now and I have the door open. And it was 90 earlier. So you try and keep a lot of things tucked away someplace cooler. Otherwise you find you melt things. Anyway, I am excited and I hope that this gives you a couple of tips if you go to buy some heat mats. Heat mats make a big difference because they provide warmth for the soil. So it's the same equivalent as if you were waiting until the soil outside was warm from the sun. But of course this allows you to start inside long before you could put most of these seeds into the ground. So just remember, if you're looking for heat mats, be sure that you're buying what you think you're buying. If you want controllers and separate heat mats, awesome. If you want self-contained heat mats, awesome. Just make sure you get what you think you're getting, because it would have been really annoying if I had bought 2 heat mats and discovered I needed a controller for them and had to wait a couple of days for that to come in. Plus, I didn't want to spend the extra money right now. I was looking for an inexpensive solution. So I hope this gives you a little oomph and encourages you to try starting seeds early. Keep on growing. See you next time. Bye.